everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and look, it's Austin, the Man-Thing-Ghost. Hello, Austin.
Ooh, how's it going?
It is Austin's night, folks, and sort of Austin's month, really. I like Halloween. I like spooky stuff well enough. I'm not a big horror guy. This is kind of Austin's domain, and now that he's a regular on the channel, every October, he's kind of taken the whole friggin' thing over. And tonight, Austin wanted to do... No, I thought this was a fun idea, and I'm excited because we're going to get to watch something I've never seen before, and then something that none of us have seen before, except for some of you guys that probably stayed up all night last night, went ahead and watched it. But tonight, we're going to do a double feature that Austin came up with. And Austin, what is the plan this evening, sir?
So we're watching the original Wolfman from 1941, and then Marvel's new Werewolf by Night special from today.
And how much of a parody or throwback to specifically that film do you think Werewolf by Night is?
It's hard to say because they talked about it a lot as being a throwback to Universal, but at the same time, that trailer is doing a bunch of different things, so it's gonna be hard to say. But I figured they're both about an hour long, and it would be an interesting comparison.
Yeah, they go together regardless. They're both black and white, unless Werewolf by Night ends up getting cute about that and is partially black and white or what. I don't know.
Mhm. No, for sure. No, it'll be interesting, especially to see if it'll be that kind of Richard Donner-y Superman thing where we go, look, it's cheesy, it's a throwback.
Yeah.
Or if it'll feel more authentic.
The thing I'm most curious to find out is how, and we're watching Wolfman first, of course, but the thing with Werewolf by Night that I'm most curious to find out, Austin, is just how cemented into MCU it will be and it will feel. How does it being as stylistic as it looks, and if it's supposed to be kind of a 40s throwback thing, how in universe does it look? When does it take place? I'm very curious about all these things.
Yeah, I'm guessing since it's only an hour, it'll probably be ambiguous. We'll deal with it later. But here's just a thing.
Surely there will be a reference or two at least to things that are pre-established, wouldn't you figure?
Probably, but it would also be a little weird if you have a werewolf being oh, remember Thanos?
Sure, but isn't it likely to be a period piece?
Oh, maybe. I hadn't really thought about that.
I keep kind of assuming period, but maybe not. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And some of you guys will already, know probably.
Well, we have my boy Man-Thing, and his history with the MCU is already very strange. So, how will he fit into this? Because he's apparently been to space already. So...
What?
Who knows?
In the MCU?
Yeah, because there's a statue of his head on in Ragnarok in the Gladiator planet.
You mentioned that, yeah. But then you've got that question of is it really Man-Thing, or is it just something that sort of looks like Man-Thing? And you've got different filmmakers doing different things, not talking to each other. You got people like Sam Raimi making the second Doctor Strange movie, who's I don't care what the Eye of Agamotto was. Here's what it is in comics.
Yeah, well, and Iron Man 3 references Man-Thing's origins, so
Man-Thing's not a character I really know anything about at all, but I'm sure we'll talk way too much about that, or we'll listen to Austin talk too much about that when we'll see him on screen for a couple of seconds.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So tonight's show is not prepared whatsoever. This is a watch party. We're going to just it'll be a reaction video. We'll be responding in the moment as we're looking at these things. Austin will be kind of the closest thing to a resident expert we'll have tonight. I'm not remotely qualified to be here, except it's my channel, and I have to press play when we all. I have to say press play when we all start, and that's pretty much what I'm doing here. But we'll respond to things as they happen, and hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. You've seen Wolfman just the one time?
Just the one time, yeah. It's not one of the better first Universal monster movies, but it's also quite good. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm not very familiar with these at all.
Box set.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, there they go.
I was wondering, you know what? We should have started the clock at the beginning of the show.
Oh, to see how long it would take for me to drop
stopped it when they fell, yeah.
Yeah, so I have this big box set, which is kind of janky, because they literally just put the individual sets just like in a box, which means that all the crossover movies are in each one. So there's like 5 copies of the Abbott and Costello
In
movies
the
here
same box set?
in the same box set.
That's amazing. I'm going to ask folks in the comments, this probably goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, to if you've seen Werewolf by Night, please don't spoil anything throughout the show. A couple people have already popped in and said, you know, like whether or not they liked it and small details. Please try not to tell us anything, and we'll be watching that in about an hour and 9 minutes from when we start The Wolfman. The Wolfman, by the way, I should have said that right at the beginning to give people time to pull it up if you haven't yet, but it's available right now on Peacock. That's how I'm watching it. And
Oh, they did get it on Peacock. I remember Dan went through all the movies recently, and most of them were on HBO Max and not Peacock. It was a big thing that he and I were talking about.
this one's on Peacock. I don't know about any others. I haven't looked them up. And I was going to say a minute ago, I'm not real familiar with these. I've seen a couple, and it's been a million years. I've seen Dracula, and when I was a kid, I saw Invisible Man as one of these, right?
Yeah, Invisible Man's one of the best ones. It's really good.
I remember loving it as a kid, and I remember liking the, H.G. Wells' Invisible Man a lot, just the book when I was a kid, but I haven't looked at any of that stuff in a long time.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you watch it on Peacock and you don't have a subscription to Peacock, because you don't have to, you can watch a lot of stuff on Peacock for free, but you have to watch about 2.5, 3 minutes of commercials at the beginning, and then it's uninterrupted after that, which is why I love Peacock. I think it's a really great streaming service because they give you that option, and because they don't interrupt it constantly with commercials. It's really nice. But
that's great.
But yeah, so if you have not already gone through, we're going to go ahead and get started here in a second. So if you haven't gone through the commercials yet, you can just jump up to our timestamp, and you'll be able to see about where we're at on your screen there with the 0 seconds. That's what that's for, and I'll start it just when I begin the movie. Anyway, so I'm excited to try to get into the Halloween spirit, the kind of horror mode, Austin. I'm not there yet for this month yet. I think I'm finally kind of cemented in a fall kind of mood now, but I'm not really in a Halloween place yet.
Okay, yeah. I had a little bit of that today. I was listening to music at work, and I just put on my Halloween playlist. And I have been like sporadically throughout the week, but I've not been like super like, yeah, Halloween, here we go. But I don't know, for some reason I hit Thriller on my playlist and was just like, yeah, it's Halloween.
It's Halloween,
yeah.
I'm not even
Tell
wearing
me, Vincent Price.
I'm not even wearing any of my horror shirts today.
I'm representing my boy, so
I wasn't really thinking about wardrobe. I sat down and I was like, I don't know, it's Marvel, whatever. I have some like slasher thriller shirts just because my kids have the namesakes of slasher thriller of slasher characters. So I have a couple of like Jason, Michael, Freddy shirts, but that's about all I've got in that vein.
I mean, that's pretty sweet.
Okay, guys, we're gonna watch The Wolfman. It's an hour and 9 minutes long, and I've never seen this. I'm excited to check it out. I'm not a big werewolf guy. That's one of those things that I'm kind of
werewolf guy either.
Waiting to finally be. Oh yeah, werewolves. I haven't had that experience yet.
Yeah, I'm not a giant werewolf guy. Like, they can be really cool, but like, it's not something that immediately jumps out at me.
John Kelling says Wolfman isn't available to watch for free for me on Peacock. Is it a premium watch only? It might be. Okay, so here's what, real quick, because we need to get started. I assumed that I was not currently on premium because they made me look at commercials before this started. So now I'm going to backtrack what I said earlier, because if I'm paying for premium and I had to have 3.5 minutes of commercials at the beginning of this, that is not as user-friendly and consumer-friendly as I thought they were. So bad Peacock! Bad Peacock!
This is why you're not available in Canada.
Nothing's available in Canada. And you guys have to pay $3 more for everything that is.
I know. At least our Disney Plus is better.
Every time I send Austin a picture of like a book or a movie or something that I own, and he can see like the price of it that has Canada. He's always like, "Oh, there's my price."
Well, especially because you did the one that was the Death of Superman the other day, and it was like the price on it was like the issue that he died, and
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, except for me,
the price
but
for
it's
me was
not.
$75. For you was $92.
Yeah,
You're like, how does
nothing
that
happened in
correlate? We
issue
looked up the cover.
92.
It had nothing to do at all with
No.
Death of Superman.
And it looked like a really stupid issue too.
We better get started, folks. We're already 10 minutes into the stream. Get ready to press play when I say now, just about to do it. And if you need a timestamp, it's conveniently going to be right there for you on the screen with a second or two difference, because I only have one mouse and I'm only one man. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. And we'll travel back to 1941.
Here we go. A Universal picture.
Anybody else think that sounds like the John Williams Superman theme? Was he going back to the early Universal?
Well, that's not the
Music.
old like plain one. Like that was a different one too.
No, I've never seen that one. This transfer is really pretty right out the gate.
Yeah, the Blu-ray I have is really nice.
Look
too.
how clear that is.
Although it might be because that just got put on 4K, so I wonder if it's maybe even a better transfer than what I have.
Yeah, I don't know. But it looks like Robin Hood good. I'm always talking about how great that Errol Flynn Robin Hood transfer is.
Oh yeah, I should see that.
You should. It's amazing. It looks like it was shot last Tuesday.
Oh, that's awesome. So a big thing here is I think this is the first time we bring back Bela Lugosi in the Universal Monsters thing. There's like a whole lot of stuff there with him where they were pretty crappy to him. And he just has a bit part, but I don't know, it's nice to see him back. He's a good actor.
I wonder why he agreed to come back.
He needed money.
That's usually the reason, isn't it?
Well, there's a whole thing with
That's the-
Frankenstein with the third movie.
That's the Orson Welles thing.
Yeah, where Universal like paid him like very little because they knew he couldn't say no to anything, like because he needed money so badly.
So what do you think about putting all the characters and their faces up front like that? The kind of dramatis personae.
It feels very like old school TV, right?
Yeah, it does feel a little TV, which is funny because it's 1941. Like TV is just getting started, but
Yeah. No, exactly. We're still pretty early into filmmaking, so
and by early I mean hardly anybody's got one. Like I'm pretty sure the TV has been invented by now.
yeah, I think so.
There's some rear projection.
There certainly is. They're moving really fast for a guy who's just kind of going.
Yeah, they're really enjoying their Sunday drive. Well, that is a really pretty. I'm hesitating. Is that just a shot, or is part of that a matte painting? I can't tell.
I thought it was just a shot.
I think
but
it's
could be
just a
wrong.
shot.
Yeah, I mean the set design of these movies is always top notch.
Welcome home, Larry.
Hey, you want to be in the pictures, kid?
Yeah, there's a part of me that thought it was kind of weird. That's like, here's all these characters' faces, and then we're gonna reintroduce them right after that.
Yeah, because it's like you're like, I have no context for who this is. I don't remember who he is.
So I wonder if, because I don't know anything about this movie, I wonder if the original Wolfman is already a Wolfman when we meet him, or if it's an origin story where he's gonna become a Wolfman.
It is an origin story.
Okay.
Yeah. Bela Lugosi is like the original wolf that will then give it to Larry Talbot.
And is there any references or anything that make it clearly in continuity with any other Universal monster movies?
No, that
Or is
stuff
it
comes
very
later.
standalone?
They're all pretty standalone for
Okay.
a while.
I couldn't remember if any of that happened with the earliest ones.
Yeah, no, that's later on.
John Kelly
In a
says
way,
it was that a lot of that castle was a painting.
Oh, okay.
That's or mansion
it
or
looks
whatever.
really
That's
good.
that's
So,
impressive because it looked pretty
yeah.
real to me. And I'm watching this pretty large, but I'm easily impressed now with old school effects because of how poorly integrated CG is so much of the time.
Yeah. You can literally throw up a painting and it looks more real. That's why you let your effects people have more time, Marvel.
We are a backwards people.
We werewolves are very
Don't
backwards.
tell anybody about that. I like how it says glass and not fragile.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back in the 40s, you were more upfront. Now we're more like, just kind of hide it. Words you don't need. Just, it's glass.
Meanwhile, back at the Aerospace Museum.
I just bought this giant telescope so I can spy on the all-women gym.
I got this from my good friend Clark Kent.
Oh, it's like looking down, but the shot is straightforward. That's great.
Someday these will be so small you can carry them in 2 arms. I wasn't interested in astronomy until I saw this big-ass telescope.
Yeah, imagine like this was the only thing you could get. It was just this or nothing.
I have been really wanting to throw myself into this period of film lately. And by this period, I mean, like, I don't know, early 40s and the mid-50s. Like, that 15
Sure, yeah.
years.
No, of course.
The last couple years, I've been going back and seeing more early movies. For the first time in a long time, I just didn't spend a lot of time on classics because of, what we do on the channel and stuff. And when I finally saw Feast in the Crowd, I was like, and that's, of course, quite a while after this. That's like 57, I think, with Andy Griffith. It's my favorite movie of all time now, and it's just
Yeah, I still got to check that out.
It's making me want to go back and watch a lot of Hitchcock and stuff. And I finally saw all the way through about a month ago Strangers on a Train, which is just brilliant and has one of the most thrilling third acts of anything I've ever seen from any era.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's so much fun.
Well, because I have, just like my Universal Monsters set, I got a big Hitchcock one, and I was like, I'll go through all of that when I get through all of the Universal Monsters. And then I just kind of petered out, not because they were bad or anything, it was just kind of like, you put it down one day and then never got back to it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But I got to finish those, because I'm close to halfway, and then I can
You know how I thought you were going to finish that sentence, though? You're going to say, I'll finish this box set when you fix this door! I don't know, even for early 40s, I feel like he's got a lot of makeup on his face.
Yeah? I mean, I wasn't thinking about it. Now that I am, we're not looking at him. So
They cut immediately after I said that. It's like, you idiot! There's no makeup on the back of his head.
I mean, that is correct. Well, this is very 40s. He looked through his telescope, found a woman that he liked, and now he's just gonna pressure her into going on a date with him.
Look, it was a different time back then, man, and
No,
it was
yeah.
even a simpler time when I met my wife. This is exactly how Sarah and I got together. I had the largest telescope imaginable, and I pointed it in places that weren't my business, and I know that people are probably going to judge me for that, but it was a long time ago. Okay, it was like, I don't know, 2003. That was my generation's 1941. No, I'm kidding. My wife and I met at
through a
church.
telescope, and then you ran in front of her car, so she ran you over.
Well, it's in the dog family. That is cool looking, though.
No, that's a really nice cane.
That's really neat.
I wonder if Universal sells that. Like,
What a
if you,
prop.
yeah,
I wonder where that one is. Like, is that in a museum? Does it still exist? Like,
I would assume it probably still exists, but also at the same time, we weren't very careful about stuff back then. So it's hard to say.
so I find myself wondering, with the premise of this, pardon me, the way it's shot, what I'm assuming is going to be a certain degree of minimalism. When you get to the end of this movie, and I'm wondering these about the Universal Monster movies in general,
Mhm.
how much of just retroactively a Twilight Zone episode are these really?
I mean, this one I think easily could fit into that premise.
Because it really feels like you're watching a Twilight Zone episode.
Mhm.
And I don't mean superficially just it's black and white, it's old. I just mean like all the trappings of it. It seems very Twilight Zone.
No, for sure.
Or Alfred Hitchcock Presents too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could fit into that too. The Frankenstein and Invisible Man are probably a little too big for that. But well, and then Dracula feels like a stage play that they just
Well,
filmed.
yeah, that's a whole other ball of wax.
Yeah.
But also, that movie is getting into the special effects, at least to some degree, real early too. With like, because isn't he turning into a bat and stuff like 10 minutes into that movie? I haven't seen it in a long time. I forget.
Yeah, I don't think you ever actually see him turn into anything, but there's like an understanding that that's happened.
Okay, maybe there's not actually a transformation. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's been too long. Like, I forget now, but... Goofster
No,
says, I know the
that's
head of the cane is in a private
right.
collection. Not sure about the cane itself. Oh, cool to know that that still exists, though.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thomas Lowe, are you using the Smallville Clark's idea on viewing telescope as dating ideas, Cap? I was pretending to. Yes, no, certainly not. Don't try this at home, kids.
Point your telescopes at the sky, not windows.
There must be something to this full moon stuff.
I want to know where that thing in the background is.
I was
today.
gonna
forget
say-
the can.
Every scene's got a prop I want. Like,
Yeah, you could have that right behind you.
so how much of the werewolf mythology from this film predates this film?
I'd imagine most of it because there is a Universal werewolf movie before this one.
Oh, is there really? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
like, what's
very
the
much
source
like a
material of
prototype.
that is what I'm wondering. Like, because
Probably just,
obviously
like, old folklore.
Dracula and vampire stuff goes back
Yeah.
a ways. I'm just wondering about that with this.
I think just like old folklore and mythology, stuff like that.
That's what I figured.
Well, I think the interesting thing with that too is that you have like the vampire stuff, and then Dracula kind of brings it all together, and then that's what they adapt. And then Frankenstein they adapt, Invisible Man they adapt. But this is one that they just go, okay, let's make a werewolf thing. He's the Wolfman.
Boy,
You know,
this
it's
is
not
quite a
that
line.
book.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. This is quite a line he's given her, where he's like, you wore these earrings I liked, so obviously you like me, and oh, you gotta walk me with me because I'm afraid of the dark. Like, really, you need her protection? That's gonna be your really? All right.
That was the 40s. That's how you pick up women back then.
He's like 7 feet tall, and she's like 6'3" because she's got heels on. I'm a sucker for this kind of atmospheric stuff, dude. Like we,
Oh,
we, we make fun of
absolutely.
dry ice and stuff with modern things all the time. In black and white, it just doesn't look so goofy.
No, I
You know?
mean, these movies just have an aesthetic that is awesome. Like,
Yeah. Somehow, all this fog just does not photograph as well in color. It looks faker. Do you agree with
hmm,
that?
yeah, no, I agree with that. I think maybe because you can see it a little better, like it kind of blends a bit more in black and white, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking. It isn't because the fog itself is in color. That's not what I'm saying. We don't want to see colored fog.
Oh, we're getting a little racist.
All that,
The fogs.
all that blue and red fog we always have in our colored films now.
That should be the sequel to The Fog. It's like, oh, there's all these colored fogs coming in.
Speaking of stereotypes,
You
here's
got the
one.
gypsies.
This movie is so romantic.
Well, yeah, if you ever meet a woman, like, this is where you should take her out. Like, a really foggy area you can't see in.
I had no idea this movie looked this good. Like, I would have watched this already if I'd had any sense of this. Like, well, it's cool because, like, it's a heightened atmosphere, but it's shot and it's written like a movie, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, you
This
should
is
go
like
back
any
to at
drama
least
from
the
this
first two
period you've
Frankenstein.
seen, except there's going to be a creature at the end.
Yeah, yeah,
And there's
exactly.
fog everywhere, and it's kind of spooky.
Yeah, Bela Lugosi's about to be weird.
Are they all, like, the originals anyway, are they all to this quality as far as production value goes? Because I'll binge through these if they all look like this. This is neat.
I think, like I said, I think Frankenstein and Invisible Man are even a step above this.
Wow.
Yeah. No, there's stuff in the Invisible Man that they do, and I genuinely don't know how they pulled off some of the effects in it. Um, it's really crazy. And then Frankenstein, I think, is to the Universal monsters what Captain America is to the MCU, where it's like that series is just kind of above everything else.
Okay! Okay, I heard you! Senior Sticks, $2 super chat. Marvel, I think, doing Werewolf by Night. Yes, Marvel did do Werewolf by Night, and we're
You are
watching it after
correct.
this.
Thank you.
Thanks for the super chat. But yes, that's what we're doing after this. Checkers the Inventor, $5 super chat. Cap, that's not too much makeup. Universal had to digitally remove Lon Chaney Jr.'s beard that he had for another role.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
Is that
That's
true?
interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
It looked like a lot of makeup to me.
Interesting.
Oh man, something's gone down here. Based on the title, I'm gonna guess a wolf of some kind. As foreshadowed by the top of the man's cane. Oh, this music cue, it's so good.
Oh, Bela Lugosi's werewolf's just like a straight up wolf. He's not even a wolf man.
That's smart. Immediately, it gives you more realism than, a dude in a goofy monster costume. Like,
Well, that's the interesting thing with this is that originally it was going to be more psychological, where you're asking like, okay, is he actually a werewolf or not?
oh, I kind of wish they'd gone that way, but
And then while making it, they went like, you know what? Like, let's actually just see the monster though.
well, and where does this fall in the sequence? How many of these had they made?
Ooh, it says the order of them right here. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4. They made 11 before this. So we at least at this point have Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, and Invisible Man. In terms of like the individual franchises.
Okay. See, what I was gonna say was they might have just been thinking, let's be more consistent with what we're making, where you see the monster, but those don't all have monsters exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, they do, and you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
the Universal monsters, some of them are like, oh, the monster is coming, and some of them are like, this is your protagonist who is arguably a monster, right?
yeah. Well, a lot of them are very like tragic figures.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's
it's
all
kind
real
of like most of
gothic.
them are tragic, and then you have Dracula that's like the evilest one. Where he's not tragic in any way.
Well, again, so far this isn't like goofy, uh, like scary guy in a silly costume that just jumps out and attacks people. Like this is what people used to think of as horror before slashers became all the rage. Like
Mhm.
horror was like creepy atmosphere. Something's looming before it was stab something every 2 scenes.
Which is funny because the second Mummy comes out before this, and the Mummy sequels are just straight up slashers,
Oh,
where you
okay.
have like a mummy going around just killing people. But the first Mummy's not like that at all.
But of course, you need Psycho before you can get to the slasher craze, and that's 2 decades after this.
No, of course. But that's like the monster kind of going around like killing people.
But look, I know like 5 things about this genre, so you have to let me get out the things I'm
Yeah.
aware of.
No, of
That's
course.
that's
No,
what
I
I
like
know.
I agree with you. Like it is very different. It's much more about the atmosphere.
I agree, Dr. Lloyd. It was a large animal. I saw it with my own eyes.
Don't tell me I didn't see it. I was
I
there.
was there. Checkers the emitter $5 super chat. That was a Justice League 2017 joke. They didn't have CGI in 1941. I apologize. I've ruined everything. Well, here's the thing. I immediately thought, oh, he must be joking. But then when Austin right away went, hey, I didn't know that, I was like, well, maybe there's something to that. But then I was thinking, I don't know how you digitally remove something in
Well,
1941.
I was
But
like I was like half thinking because I was also just like engaged in the
we're
movie.
trying to watch this movie.
Something, and it was like, oh, okay, wow.
Okay, so my makeup point stands, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, no, good job.
They keep putting that awesome cane in frame as close as humanly possible. They're like, man, we built this prop. You are gonna see it as much as possible.
Well, and this cane is really like plot important too. Like it is like a Chekhov's gun thing.
Somebody, and I think it was maybe Checkers earlier, they called it Chekhov's cane.
Yeah.
Senior Sticks, $2 super chat. Do all the Hollywood monsters have their own cane?
I wish. What would Frankenstein's be? Just like a
Yeah,
man head?
Yeah, the Frankenstein monster is not gonna have a cane, but I can't remember if Invisible Man does. I don't think he did. That character could have had a cane.
Yeah. No, none of them have canes, but
But
like
how badly do you want the creature from the
I'm
Black
just thinking of what
Lagoon
the merchandise would be.
to have a cane?
That'd be awesome. Could swim with it.
Like he comes out of the water like this on his cane. He's like,
He's like Ariel when she gets her legs. Like he kind of struggles to walk at first, so he needs his
no, I'm
cane.
just picturing the creature from the Black Lagoon comes out of said lagoon, and you're hearing, oh. Under lagoons. Dun, 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 dun. And I saw a man together.
There was some sort of
Oh,
man wolf.
something's about to happen to this guy.
Wait, he got bit by a radioactive gypsy.
And look, it slightly messed up his hair.
And he lost his cane.
Come on, Paul, ask your questions.
Ask your stupid questions. Paul.
Well, the only possible answer is that it was both. Obviously.
At least they brought his cane back. That's decent.
I like the mystery of this because obviously you can pretty well track what's happening, and at the same time, they haven't shown the audience too much that the main characters in the movie don't know.
Hmm. No, absolutely. No, it's not like we're jumping straight into he's just a wolfman now, and he's, running around killing people.
You know what else I'm impressed with design wise? These sets make this house look as big on the inside as it is on the outside.
Oh, yeah. Oh, these movies all have giant sets like this. It's awesome.
It feels huge.
Yeah. Now, apparently, either everything was very big or people were very small in the 40s because they all look like this.
Robert
you
Wild
remember
says, "Here,
oh.
we'll let you have your murder weapon back."
Do you remember the Futurama parody of this movie?
I don't right off.
It's actually kind of clever because they do like the werewolf thing where Bender's like going around killing people as a werewolf, but then you find out that it's like a were-car and it's like Christine. If Christine
Oh,
was
that's
a
great.
werewolf,
It's
awesome.
been too long. I've seen that whole show, but it's been years. I don't remember that episode.
Yeah.
And I binged it, and I was probably doing other stuff while I was watching some of them. So
No, for sure. Yeah, they bring in the gypsy fortune teller bot.
I love how you said that at the exact same time as that
As she
lady was
said
saying
it?
"gypsy fortune teller" in
Of course,
stereo.
I made sure to time it right.
That was incredible.
Oh, we got our first
No,
cemetery.
he's a professional, folks.
Yeah, I just, I know how to hit him.
Am I just this starved for more material that people make because they want to make it? Is that my thing right now? Because like,
I mean, this is a really good movie, so probably both. Probably both.
I keep feeling like my standards must just be too low, right? I think I'm not knocking this. I think this
Yeah.
is wonderful looking, and I'm enjoying the pacing of it. And obviously, we're having to talk over it, but like, it seems wonderful. But at the same time, I'm like, am I enjoying this more than I would if it weren't for the fact that I have to watch a lot more crap than good stuff?
I mean, possibly. We'll find out after this movie.
What I'm really wondering is if I'm allowed to smoke in here.
Oh, it's the 40s. You can smoke anywhere. You can drop your ashes in the casket.
We can't bury this man without prayer, but cigarettes, no problem.
Yeah. No shirt, no shoes, no service. Cigarettes? Absolutely.
Well, why don't you be a little bit more open-minded there?
Yeah. Don't insult her heritage.
We don't want any pagans up in here. Why do we have to have a pagan ritual? I think she handled that with an amazing amount of restraint, really.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so earlier that guy lied and said he was scared of the dark, but I think it was that guy, right? But
Yeah.
what he was really scared of is dead bodies.
What he was scared of was not going home with that woman that night.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Robert Wild, everyone was drinking and smoking themselves to an early grave. But it's amazing the sheer number of people that smoked like 15 times a day and made it to like 85, 90.
Oh, absolutely. And then you hit that age and the doctors are like, don't stop smoking. If you stop smoking, you'll die.
Do you agree with this? Because I'm going to make a statement that I would have to look up the statistics of to know if I'm right. But it feels like I'm making a kind of a broad blanket statement here. But in general, it seems like a lot of actors from this period lived a really long time. And if you were in the music business, especially by the 50s, you were a lot more likely to die in like your 30s.
27.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There were obviously a lot of actors that died young too, but it seems like in general, historically, musicians and comedians tend to die young.
Yeah. Well, comedians have that like sad clown type thing too. It's like quite a bit of that.
Now you just leave it well enough alone, missy.
This woman was clearly killed because this other woman went out with another man.
Okay, but do you really need to shoot him from further down like that to try to make him look taller? It already looks like his head's about to hit the ceiling compared to everyone else. You see, he walks in the door, the camera's down here, so he looks like he's 9 feet tall.
Oh, he looks like Gandalf when he goes to the Shire.
Yeah! He's having a duck down when he's
like,
walking through doorways.
That's why he needs a cane. His knees are getting weak from bending down under everything.
Exactly. Here, watch him. Let's see if he bends down at any point. That was a weird cut.
This woman's clearly standing.
Did you see that cut?
No, I think I looked away to get a drink right as it cut.
He walks through the doorway, and it cuts real quick. Like, you blink, you miss it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the move of the camera or anything. It looked almost like dropped frames or something.
They had to splice 2 shots together. They just couldn't make that work.
Robert Wilde, like the clown Pagliacci. Roll on snare drum.
Good joke.
Good joke. Everybody laugh.
Ha ha ha. And I thought my jokes were
And
bad.
I thought my jokes were bad. Hey, Austin, can I tell you a bad joke?
Okay.
That I just came up with the other day, and my son got it immediately. So no pressure, but like, right, it kind of plays more like a riddle. He got it in 3 seconds, just didn't skip a beat. Are you ready?
Okay.
What do you call a censored helicopter?
I don't know what.
You want a second to think about it? Because Jason got it right away.
A censored helicopter?
A censored helicopter.
I don't know what.
A helicopter.
Oh, that's rough.
You gotta hand it to Jason for getting it right away, though.
Do I?
I'm just saying, that was pretty cool. He just looks at me and goes, helicopter!
You should have been like, oh, son. Can't believe you got that.
Dad, stop writing jokes!
Don't quit your day job.
I mean, I haven't. We're here, aren't we?
That's right, Robert Wilde. Boo this man.
Boo! Get off the stage! That was exactly the response I was hoping to elicit.
That
Wow,
was
this
maybe
movie has
worse than
everything.
Silent Not All from
It's got
Brandon last year.
violins and everything.
Got crowds of people, violins, dancing. What more could you ask for?
Yay! I feel like I'm at a Renaissance festival. Robert Wild. Cap, we pay you to ramble, not to tell jokes. I thought it was just to fill time with something.
Yeah, not all time filling is good, folks. Wait a minute, they didn't have guns in 1941.
Austin, they had guns in 1841, buddy.
Oh. Well, never mind then.
What do you think the Civil War was fought with? Rocks?
Yeah, you just throw rocks at each other.
That was
That's
a
what
great
the
push in.
natives do. You just tie a rock to a stick.
This is great. John
No, it's
says
not.
this is
Munchausen
$2 for Austin for that joke.
Well, thank you.
I'll make sure he gets that minus YouTube's 30%.
And then you're gonna take 30% too.
You can go buy yourself most of a Coke.
I can go buy myself a 25-cent candy.
But it's not going to go quite as far in Canada.
No, not
as
at all.
we established earlier.
Our 25-cent candies are $1.
Robert says, jerk face guy kind of reminds me of Charlton Heston. Do you agree with that?
That's just because he had a gun?
They didn't have guns during the Planet of the Apes.
Wait a minute. If they had guns, then it's our planet.
Great guns. Bela Lugosi turned into a wolf. I'm telling you, I don't know the name of the picture I'm in.
That means he got to be a Wolfman, a Frankenstein, and a Dracula.
That's pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive. And then he wasn't in a bunch of movies, so I guess he's the Invisible Man.
I'm really liking his performance.
No, Lon Chaney Jr. is really good. They really know how to cast their lead monster character. At
I'm really
least at
buying,
first.
like the desperation and like the shame and it's good. The sense of urgency in it. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, because Lugosi's Dracula is perfect. Karloff's Frankenstein and the Mummy's great. What's his? It's Claude Rains is the Invisible Man's awesome too. They really know how to cast their lead monster character.
Look, you guys, I only told that joke because after he made that Joker reference, I felt like we needed a really bad joke in here somewhere.
Are people still complaining about it?
It lasted a
It's been
while,
10
yeah.
years.
Yeah, Thomas Lowe says you should start your own YouTube channel. I guess he thinks you need to get away from me because of my bad helicopter jokes.
I need to take a helicopter to get away from you.
It's like he was cast for the dreary eyebrows, right? Something bad happens to Lon Chaney, and it's like, oh.
He looks like the like dopey dog, like the sad dog from Hanna-Barbera. When Lon Chaney Sr., of course, was like famous for playing a bunch of monster stuff, like way before this. 'Cause he died young. He died like right when colored films started to become more, or no, not colored, sound. We started doing more sound movies.
Oh man, now he knows it. Or at least a creepy old gypsy woman told him maybe he's a werewolf, and he's a little bit concerned about it now.
You know what she should say when like he gives her that necklace?
Checkers said he unsubscribed over the helicopter joke.
That's good. Everybody should unsubscribe for that.
It really ruined the vibe.
Yeah.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Ruined everyone's night.
You notice I regret nothing. I don't have the pathos of Lon Chaney over this. Whoa! Oh my god, she's got like the X-Men beam. She's got the Professor X beam coming out of her forehead. Whoa, this is trippy.
I forgot about this part.
Just as I was thinking, like, wow, we've spent quite a bit of time just lore building and having some downtime, and we're getting back to the weirdness now.
There's only like 29 minutes left.
Yeah. But it feels like it's really taking its time, right?
Yeah, and it's not slow. It's just like, I don't know, deliberate.
It's deliberate.
We used to make movies where we had setup.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you could build some suspense.
Yeah.
Instead of forcing your suspense by just walking through a creepy place going, someone's gonna jump out. It's so suspenseful.
What's like possession movies, like they're all ripping off The Exorcist, but they make the climax of The Exorcist the whole movie.
Yeah.
Well, that like has like amazing setup building to that stuff, but now we go, you don't need that.
Well, the thing is, you build suspense by doing what you need for a lot of the rest of the narrative, right? Like you do your world building is building suspense up to the a big moment or a big reveal or a big scary thing that happens. Your world building, your character background, your lore, and this did all of that really effortlessly.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, and we're getting to the Wolfman now.
His feet are blurring into some hairier feet.
Yeah, there's no real proper like transformation sequence in this one. That'll come later.
They then faded into some even hairier feet.
Well, what I love about the Wolfman is that no matter what he was wearing before he was the Wolfman, he is always wearing this while he's a werewolf.
Robert Wild, you are gonna have werewolves in your werewolf picture, right?
Yeah, we got him.
Now, as I always say, I don't want to rewrite the movie or anything. There's a part of me that honestly, and I know this
stuck to their guns on the psychological thing.
No. And that would have been great. But what I was gonna say is, I'm hesitating because I know this is a classic, and for 1941, the look of the Wolfman is fine. There's a part of me that almost wishes he just turned into a whole wolf.
I do think it is one of their weakest designs, is the Wolfman.
Because the attack of the full-on just wolf at the beginning, obviously, like, you're seeing it mostly in silhouette, but, like, it's, it feels more real than this possibly can.
Yeah,
So it makes you kind of just wish. And I've seen that in some other things where a werewolf is just a guy that turns into a wolf.
yeah. Yeah, it's like kind of hit or miss. Some things will do like the big wolf man. Others will just be they turn into an actual wolf. Kind of just depends on what it is.
Robert, wow, that tree looked weird. And then John Kelling said, "The tree isn't real. It can't hurt you." Robert Wilde, really bold choice to have him wearing a wife beater for his first werewolf transformation.
Yeah, then he's not wearing one when he's a werewolf because he's always wearing the same outfit as a werewolf, and it's never the same outfit he was wearing before the transformation.
Well, it's kind of like Hulk, really.
Well, at least Hulk, it's like, he's wearing blue pants. There's Bruce Banner, now he's wearing blue pants.
Ah,
Or
they're
blue
purple.
shirts. Yeah, purple. But I was also thinking of the movies because they're like never purple in the movies.
Oh yeah, when I picture Hulk, I'm always thinking about like just classic purple shorts wearing
Yeah,
60s Hulk.
I mean that's the best. It sucks we never do that.
And Hulk
The
fighting
movies.
Wolverine. That's the other thing I think of when I think about Hulk.
Yeah, I wonder how long it'll take for them to do Hulk versus Wolverine and Hulk versus the Thing.
That's a good call. Now that they can do X-Men stuff, and a lot of people are
Yeah.
saying they'd love to see Wolverine introduced that way.
Yeah, I
But
could see
given
it.
what we've done with Hulk now, I don't know how excited I can get about that.
Well, I also always said that if you wanted to differentiate your
Oh, now his hair is
Wolverine
really messed up.
trilogy, he's got
There's like a
flip.
progression with the hair. Have you noticed this?
Yeah. Oh, he's got a Star of David on his chest.
Oh, it's a scar of David.
A scar of David. I really batting for 100 tonight, Cap.
Honestly, I said that because I misheard you, and for a second I thought that's what you said.
Oh, okay.
We would be remiss if we didn't talk about just how great the score is in this scene.
Oh, yeah. No, the music in these movies are top notch.
Some of the string work that we got while you were talking about the Star of David
Yeah.
reminded me of Hitchcock stuff we'll get like 10 years after this.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm sure he was probably a big fan of this stuff. Like, he would have to be,
There's
right?
no way he's not influenced by some of this, right?
Yeah. Especially the James Whale movies, the first two Frankensteins and Invisible Man.
Robert Wilde, the pentagram and the Star of David are completely different things. Hey, I didn't say it. That is all on Austin.
I can say that because I'm Jewish, so it's okay.
You're not Jewish.
That's true. I'm a Scientologist.
We thought about calling the film Lycanthropia, and then we went, no one's going to see a movie called that.
Yeah, I've never really thought about this until watching with you, but you're right. He is taller than every single
He's
person.
so tall. He's got like a Shaq problem.
At least he can act.
Yeah, it doesn't go that far. I like that there's like a primal, like primordial explanation for this.
Yeah.
It's reminding me a little bit of like the explanation with Good Kirk and Evil Kirk and Enemy Within from TOS. where it's like a man is both good and evil, and he has to have both.
If only Evil Kirk was a wolf, though. That would be cooler. Then he can karate chop the wolf.
Because this is about, the animal side of man uh, with the thoughtful, logical side.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when popcorn films were like kind of thoughtful?
Yeah, when you can eat popcorn and gain brain cells instead of lose them. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, that's what these are. Like, these are, like, the popcorn films of the day. But,
Robert
like, they're not
Wildhouse Cat not
stupid.
mentioned yet how much these movies influenced Batman the Animated Series. I mean, I've not sat through any of these in a really long time. I didn't think of that, but like, sure, I'm seeing similarities in.
Yeah, it's like you have a Batman and then a Wolfman. But I mean, the animated series is definitely just looking at this period of cinema in
In
general.
general, yeah, like is
Definitely a
that
lot of
ever
this
been
stuff.
discussed as a major influence specifically on those movies? Like, or sorry, on
On
that
the
show
show?
specifically? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think Tim Burton was probably looking at this stuff too with those movies. Um, and obviously the show is looking at those two films too. Well, and then like Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2 is 100% like just a universal monster. Like it's very much looking at this stuff.
But I'm sure he's
This
talking about
influences a lot of stuff.
like atmospherically the way the backgrounds are designed and that kind of thing.
Oh, of course. I mean,
I
you
mean,
get the
just look
foggy
how much
cemetery of
of the
Phantasm.
backdrops in this movie is in shadow. Like it was drawn on black like animated series. Like I totally get what he's saying, but
Yeah.
as far as like this being a direct influence, I don't know that for sure. But I'm sorry, what were you saying, Austin?
Oh, I was saying like these movies influenced a lot of stuff. Like, you know,
No,
absolutely.
Noah says Man Bat, Checkers. A few episodes were directly looking at this. Moon of the Wolf. Sure, yeah,
Oh, I forgot they did a wolf
yeah, that's a good call.
episode. I always forget that one.
Robotters 100 just popped in and wanted to say Wolfman is one of the best of the Universal monster movies next to Dracula and Frankenstein.
It's in like the middle for me. I like Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Invisible Man more, but it's better than the Mummy and a lot of the sequels. But I like
Oh
all of
man,
those original ones.
that guy needs to stop talking. The tallest man in the world is about to beat the crap out of you. Sure, he said he was like, so I'd love to have a stuffed werewolf on my wall. And then like, Lon Chaney's like coming at him.
What did you just say?
Did you just call me wolf?
Just call me Wolf. I'm gonna put that bum on my wall. What did you just say? Did you just call me Wolf?
That scene in Origins is so stupid.
It's so bad.
Because I love Hugh Jackman's response where he's just like, no?
What? No, what?
Did you just call me Blob? And he's like, nope.
Like, very obviously not.
Noah says The Mummy is probably my least favorite of what I've seen. Yeah, I'm not going to spend this month watching modern horror. I'm going to go through these if I can find the time. Like, I want to do it now.
Yeah, no, pull it Dan. Dan was like, you know what? It's like September. I'm gonna watch some classic monster movies. He watched like Dracula, Frankenstein, this, and he was just like, these are great. And he ended up watching all 30 of them. Like he just blew through
Oh,
them.
wow. Cool.
Yeah,
God, there's 30?
yeah.
I'll watch at least the first of all the major characters.
Yeah, at least watch the first of each major character, and then watch Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein together. Like they're basically one movie.
So what is that, like 9 or 10 movies maybe?
Uh,
Like I don't know how
yeah.
many. Is it 7 or 8 major monsters, or is it more than that?
Well, you got the Creature, Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein, Mummy, Invisible Man. So that's six. And then there's also Phantom of the Opera, but I've heard that one's not great. It's not as good as the one before that with Lon Chaney Sr. At least from what I've heard, I haven't watched that one yet. I think that's the only in color movie.
Oh wow, I didn't know there was only one. Robert Wild says Creature from the Black Lagoon is one of my favorites. The script isn't anything special, but the movie looks great.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. I haven't gotten to that one yet because that one's way later. Because that's in 1950.
Well, I'm digging on this because it's more character driven than I expected it to be. Not that it's a character study,
Yeah.
but it seems like it wants you to more or less get to know this guy and actually, feel for him before he turns into the wolf, and as that's happening to him.
No, absolutely. I mean, none of these movies, at least like
Oh,
the
there's a
first of each
log
one
there.
is,
You should
yeah.
probably watch out. Oh, okay. I thought you just tripped over a log.
Oh
He got caught in
no,
a bear trap.
my one weakness, a log.
He's like, dang it, these are for bears, not wolves.
See, if this were made now, he would do that prey thing where he like frisbees the bear trap into a man's face, but we won't get that here.
Is that guy from the beginning in this group of guys so that I can go, okay, look, this is a wolf. These are dogs. Dog, wolf, wolf, dog.
Any questions?
I kind of like that we made the distinction like that.
Yeah.
Or not the distinction. I mean, obviously everybody knows the difference between a wolf and a dog. But I just mean that, like, you have the top of the can, and yeah, first glance, I can see a person going, like, that's a dog. No, it's a wolf. It's way more dangerous.
Well, it depends, like, what kind of a dog. Like, we're talking, like, chihuahuas or what?
Well, that's a good point, yeah. Now I want, like, Man Wolf versus Great Dane.
Scooby-Doo. The Wolfman was really Old Man Jenkins.
No, Austin, obviously it's... The Wolfman was Shaquille O'Neal!
Oh my god.
We
The
should have
night-
known it was the tallest man in town!
It was the only one it could be.
He
Have you
is
ever seen-
huge and a hammy actor.
Have you ever seen that Futurama episode where they do? It's like a parody of three different cartoons, but one of them's Scooby Doo, and it's got George Takei in it, and he's like the person that's in the costume.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's pretty great. It's probably the best episode of the Comedy Central episode.
Sorry, I was distracted. Did you
That's
hear the we're watching this movie? I don't know. I'm trying to pay attention. Did you notice the piano just like going to town with the minor keys? That was great. It was like dun, 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 dun!
That guy was going nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. For a minute, I almost made fun of it because it seemed really cartoony, and then it got creepy. And then I was like, no, this is cool.
It just kind of fits the atmosphere.
Yeah.
No, I love just like you can't see any of the ground. Like it's just fog.
Yeah.
It's so good.
This shot's awesome.
Yeah, this shot's nuts. That's the first Vaseline on the lens shot.
Yeah, but I'll give it that. That's fine.
Yeah.
It deserves it.
At least it wasn't to like Oh my god, this is just Batman. Did you hear that in the score?
Yep,
That is just Batman.
it is. No, that was crazy.
Yeah, because it was like the exact like.
Yeah, we got Danny Elfman, Batman, and John Williams Superman in the same movie.
No, that was nuts. I'm glad I picked up on that because I don't typically pick up on. Oh, there it is again.
Yeah.
That's nuts. He had to have been looking at this, right? Like, there's no way that's a coincidence.
So I'm not sure because now I'm rusty. It's been a while, but if memory serves, I found at one point. I don't remember which of the serials it was. If it was the 43 or the 47 or 48, because there's Batman and there's Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
One of them has right when it opens something that sounds also really similar to that melody.
Oh, okay.
And I remember when I found that thinking, well, this is Batman in the first live action thing. There's no way Danny Elfman isn't looking at that. So all I'm saying is it's possible if I'm remembering that correctly, because it might be something else, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It is possible he looked at that and not this, because it was also a really similar melody to that. And it was Batman.
Yeah.
But dude, like, it's the same kind of cadence of strings, and it's in the same key, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, it sounded exactly like it. Like, obviously it, like, transitions into a different theme, but it's that...
What was crazy about it, too, is the context of it, because when he started throwing stuff at her window, I have expected him to pull out, like, a rope and try to climb it. I need a flare gun and some flares.
That Wolfman's not 90 pounds.
Robert, while to be fair, old film scores kind of blend together, especially from this era, but there are major exceptions, obviously. Well, even if there's a lot of other stuff that sort of sounds like this movie, it feels appropriate for this, and it's definitely, in my mind, elevating the material. But if I watched enough of this stuff, I might be less impressed with it.
Well, like we were talking about earlier, like, I think a lot of this stuff was an influence on the animated series and, like, 89 and Returns. So, like, it wouldn't shock me.
It's not a thing I never thought of before.
Yeah.
Beyond just the initial influences of, like, Dracula on Batman and that kind of thing.
No, of course.
That's what she said.
That was the very first "That's what she said" joke.
It's all the way back to 1941.
It wasn't even a joke. He just said something, and he said, "Yes, that's what she said."
You're a werewolf. That's what she said. What?
Got him.
Wow. That is a risque joke there. I mean, you are a werewolf, right?
No, he's gonna be like, "I'm the Wolfman."
It really sucks to be this guy.
At least tie him in a bed.
Robert Wildcap, have you seen the Batman 89 silent film fan edit yet? No!
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know about that, but I'm curious about it. If it's well put together. Did they make it black and white, too?
I mean, I hope so.
Dad. And of course, this is, and you're right. The cane is story wise way more important than I expected it to be. I just thought it looked cool, so they kept showing it to us. This is a major element of what little werewolf stuff I've seen that seems to come back all the time. I'm a little bit surprised to see it here, where somebody knows who is the werewolf and like ties him up or puts him in a cage or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of like holding them in one spot so they can't cause mayhem.
Yeah, and like the human trying to control the animal.
Yeah.
Because like the Wolfman is fundamentally a similar but very different idea from Jekyll Hyde, right? Because Jekyll Hyde is these two extreme sides of your specific personality that you've made come to life in like playing God and messing with human nature. And this is a more tragic, like it's not your fault. Your it's like all of our primal nature personified and split. I mean, I guess Jekyll Hyde is kind of all of us in a way too, because we all have the the bad side and the good side. But like most of the werewolf things I've seen do it this way, where the werewolf does not become that way by his own fault, really.
Yeah, like the I always said it with like the Lugosi accent. The werewolf is like a victim in and of itself too.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Universal. I don't know if they tried to or not, but I'm surprised that Jekyll and Hyde isn't a Universal monster thing.
It feels
'Cause it
like
would've fit
it
in.
should be there, right?
Yeah, no, it would fit really well. So it is surprising that it's not. Oh, we got the people with torches.
You got your torches. I knew that was coming.
Yeah,
I guess the closest thing you get to Jekyll Hyde is Invisible Man, just because like it's a scientist that does a thing to himself,
yeah. No, that
turns
would be
himself
it.
into a monster, but it doesn't change.
Well, yeah. The whole thing with him in that movie is that he's like becoming like progressively crazier through his serum. So it's like not exactly like it's not like an instant change, but like he is changing.
Okay. As I said, I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
No, of course. That was always one where as a kid I was like, there's no way that you can make like the Invisible Man like scary or whatever. And like that movie's not scary because like I don't find any of these. I don't find most horror movies scary, but like the Invisible Man's awesome. Like I was definitely wrong as a kid. That
I
is
like
one of their
stuff
better.
like this that's, and of course you put yourself in the time and place, and people were afraid of movies like this because
Mm,
people had like zero desensitization to violence. Uh,
no, of course.
and weren't used to seeing like people made up in costumes and stuff. So it was kind of easier to terrify people, through a movie. But a movie like this to me is not about trying to make the audience feel fear so much as uh, put you in the. Sorry, I'm watching this movie.
I mean, it's more just like
put you in the
about
headspace
darker
of the
things.
character and make you more generally like feel something, but not like, oh, let's scare you, let's make you scream at the screen, that kind of thing. Like it's about the atmosphere and the ambiance and
Yeah, and it's
getting you
about,
with
like,
the
a
idea
thoughtful
of it.
subject matter too.
Yeah, that's where I was headed.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
exactly.
it's behind a tree. You'll just have to imagine the blood.
Yeah, no blood for these.
Through no fault of your own. Look, I was talking over this whole movie, but I still understood the point.
Well, then, like that's just inherently tragic. Like
Yeah.
his dad had to be the one to kill him too. And he beat him with the cane. We brought the cane back.
Yeah, like it's 41. You didn't have as much in the way of censorship for movies as you would just very soon after this. I think shooting behind the tree like that is saying like the violence of this scene is not supposed to be fun. There's nothing gratuitous about this, and it's a private moment.
Well, I mean, we had the same thing at the beginning, and we weren't hiding it behind a tree in the same way. Like, it was definitely a choice.
That's true. So you agree, like it doesn't watch like censored.
No, like it is like of the time, and that we're not seeing blood, but either way, like we wouldn't be seeing blood even if we were seeing the hits. Like that feels like a choice of, like,
Even if you saw blood at the beginning, yeah.
yeah, like this is how we should do it.
And I
Well,
respect
I
so
forgot
much how
his dad
downer
was
of an ending that is. Sorry, what?
I forgot his dad was played by Claude Rains. That's the original Invisible Man.
Stupid Peacock didn't even let me watch the credits.
I was only for like half a second.
Well, I know, but it's the principle of the thing.
Yeah, well, especially because you got like the big like Ender score piece. Screw
Yeah,
you.
exactly. No, I wanted to hear the big triumphant ending. I'm sure it ended with but I didn't get to hear that part. I didn't get that you resolved the chord. I didn't get to hear the resolution of the chord. Okay, I'm seeing a poster for Werewolf by Night that is at least partly in color, which makes me think this whole movie's probably not in black and white. Maybe it is. Maybe they just did that for the poster. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I say movie. It's a 54-minute special. It's not even long enough to be a feature. It's 15 minutes shorter than what we just watched.
Yeah, we just watched a really short movie.
That was wonderful, though.
No, that movie's great. Like I said, it's not one of my favorite ones, but like these movies are all just really good.
No, but is there much to complain about? What
No,
would you
exactly.
do differently? I mean, again,
No,
if I had it to do
very good.
myself, I'd probably let him turn into an actual wolf, but that's just
Yeah,
a
it's not one of their
taste
better
thing.
designs, but
Say again?
it's not one of their better designs.
No, I'm not super
It is what
impressed.
it
It doesn't
is.
look terrible. It's not goofy.
Yeah. No, it could be a lot worse.
You know what's weird about it? And I'm just maybe I'll disagree with this tomorrow, but I'm just saying this in the moment. It almost looks better in close-ups with the face than like the whole body, like the whole get up. You know what I mean? Like when you get close to it,
Yeah.
maybe it's just the performance. Maybe it's just like seeing, the like the animal versus, humanity thing playing out in his performance, but like the close-ups in his face I thought were way more effective than actually seeing him do stuff.
Yeah, I could kind of see that, especially because it's just black. Like, there's not really like a mix of a design. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, I could see that. Like, you could see like a little bit more of what's going on.
I may not be with
Get
myself on a
close-up.
second viewing, but guys, let's take a quick break, shall we? And then we'll come back and we'll watch the new Werewolf by Night. And I know Austin's excited because his favorite Marvel character of all time is in this movie. I bet for 3 seconds, but it's gonna be there. And I'm
Yeah.
just curious to see how they handle this kind of classic horror thing and how this will even fit in MCU at all.
That's mainly what I'm interested in, because it's like, that trailer is such a weird mix of tones, right? Like, it doesn't feel like this, but like this is what
No,
they're
but
saying
how much of
they're
that is
going
just
for.
selling it?
Exactly, it's hard to say.
Because it
Uh,
feels like it's selling it like a grindhouse thing.
It's like a weird mix of like Universal, Grindhouse, and like modern horror stuff, but like not like The Conjuring or whatever. More like something like is it Ready or Not? Something like that.
Guys, give us about 3 or 4 minutes if you would. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back for the second part of our double feature. This is the first time we've ever done a double feature like this, Austin.
Yeah. No, it's working out pretty well so far.
Pretty well
So.
so far. If anybody comes in late and is confused, let them know that we've watched a movie, and we're going to come back and we're going to watch a Halloween special, a movie that just dropped today. We'll
And
be
it's
right
directed by a composer.
directed by a composer. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, everybody. We are just about to start Werewolf by Night, which I know Austin is stoked for, and I am morbidly curious about.
Let's go.
So make sure you've got your Disney Plus. I want to say however else you're going to watch it, but Disney Plus is going to make sure there's no other way to ever watch anything they make originally. They put originally on Disney Plus. Get it to timestamp 0. Get ready to press play when I say now. And once again, we'll have a timer counting up from 0 in case you need to line up somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and just jump straight into it. Again, Austin and I have not seen this yet. We're doing this as a blind commentary, just like we did The Wolfman. It's a watch party. It's not a prepared commentary. So don't tell us anything if you've seen it already. And you're getting our initial first responses. If we like this movie, Halloween special, whatever, or if we feel like we have quite a bit that we might want to say after we've had our initial watch party together, we might come back and do a review of this.
John Kelling says no Moon Knight figure. I actually do have one, but I have these two because they came in the same line of Marvel Legends, and they both came back this week. So
isn't that weird?
It's very weird.
What
a bizarre coincidence.
It's a bizarre world we live in general, really, when it comes to superhero things now.
This line of Marvel Legends is really bizarre because it's like it's Netflix Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Elektra, comic book Bullseye, I think another Netflix character, and then Spike TV Blade.
Oh, I forgot they did Spike TV Blade. That's so weird.
What a weird mix.
And then Build-A-Figure was Man-Thing.
Man-Thing.
Of like, that stuff.
Because it's like, I don't know, you could have built Luke Cage, I guess, but like...
Were they just thinking, like darker side of Marvel, not just street level? Because some of that's more occulty and some of it's, like, Blade is both.
Yeah, Blade's like a weird thing, but Blade also doesn't really fit with the rest of them.
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really strange. Anyway, Austin, explain something to me. So I've never read very much of the Marvel horror side of things. I've never really looked at Werewolf by Night. I've seen some covers. I know what that looks like. I haven't really spent any time with it. Isn't that a redundant title? Why is it called that?
I don't know. It sounds different.
It does sound different. No, it's cool, but it's like by night. I mean, when do you see one there in the daytime? That doesn't really happen. You need a full moon.
Yeah, he's man by day, werewolf by night.
Oh. Sure. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch this, shall we? We're going to watch... Have you ever read any Werewolf by Night?
So I started reading it 2 weeks ago. I only got through one issue and then haven't gotten back to it. But I liked what I read.
Oh, okay.
I need to get back to it. I already know it's going to be very different because he's 18 in that and he's 40 here. So
does that character start in anthology Marvel horror, or does it start in its own book?
He starts in Moon Knight and then gets a solo thing in Marvel Premiere, which is what I read. Because a lot of people thought he was going to be in the Moon Knight show, and there was talks that he was, and then maybe like the creators talked about like cutting a lot of cameos, so maybe at one point he was. Who knows? But
yeah, it'd be interesting to know at what point in the creative process of putting together the millions of shows that they're throwing out so quickly that all happened. Because if that had if there had been a cameo or a place for that character in that show, it probably wouldn't have been the thing that Giacchino pitched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Or maybe he would have based on that, but it wouldn't have been as likely to get made, I wouldn't think. Or at least in the iteration that we're going to have. We'll see what this looks like. I don't know.
Well, that's the other weird thing, too, is they had no plans to do Werewolf by Night, apparently, until Giacchino was like, hey, can I do this? According to him.
Yeah, he says he wanted to do something, and Feige just said, okay, pitch something, and was shocked when that was the thing he pitched.
Yeah, because I was a little nervous when Giacchino was talking about it, and he was like, oh, I want to do Werewolf by Night. Kevin Feige looked at me and was like, would you want to do that? And I was like, that's a little worrisome when the head of Marvel is like, why would you want to do this Marvel thing?
Yeah, but it was nice of him to let him do it. But
Yeah.
honestly, you don't know also like the surrounding context of that. He might have
No,
been
no,
surprised
I
that was
know.
coming from Giacchino, right? Like,
No, of course. No, it's just reading it. It's like read like, oh, it's a little weird, but who knows? Yeah.
you can see why it would be the last thing he would expect anybody to pitch, though.
Yeah.
With all the
No, 'cause
superhero stuff they're doing, this just doesn't really fit with anything else they're putting out
well, and that's the other thing too is
as its own thing.
that's also the only reason we're doing Blade is that actor came to them and was like, "Hey, I want to do Blade." So apparently that's just the only way you can get the horror Marvel stuff off the ground is you need somebody to go to them and be like, "Hey, I want to do this," and then they can go like, "Oh, okay, fine." Like they won't just do it themselves.
They're not interested in like building that world within the machinery that they're already building.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of need people to come to them and be like, "Hey, let me do this," and then they'll build that. But
let's go ahead and get into it, guys. This is gonna be interesting. Here we go. Get ready to press play when I say now. And again, please don't spoil anything for us in the comments. Everybody, please press play. You can talk in the comments about what you're seeing. Just don't tell us what's gonna happen. We appreciate it. Everybody, please press play right now.
whoa, it's Ragnarok. Or yeah, Ragnarok.
Oh, it's a special. I guess that's what those are gonna look like.
That's weird because that very much looked like Ragnarok, right? With like the flashing lights.
It kind of did, and then it just looked really. Oh God!
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, it's still doing it.
It's too bad they don't have any horror stuff to put in the logo.
No, this is really cool because I thought it was a different song entirely, and it's not. They just reorchestrated it.
They just and it's got like
Ba-ba-bum!
Yeah.
It's alive! That was great! Yay! That was really cool.
Watch that be the best thing about this.
No, surely not, right?
No,
MMXXII. What does that mean?
That's what they had under like all movies.
Yeah, I know. I'm making fun of people who
Have you
don't.
ever
Hey,
seen movies?
look, it's in the MCU.
Yeah, no, you're right.
No, I'm making fun of people who don't know what Roman numerals are.
Oh.
XXVIM? What is that?
Remember Thanos?
This is not about that at all. The Bloodstone, that's not one of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, there's all the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, now we got the Bloodstone.
The one
Oh,
stone
named
to
after
rule the
Ulysses Bloodstone. Oh.
world. Oh.
Well. Hey, you think that's a matte painting, or did they build that?
If a matte painting can be made in a computer.
Oh. No, the program is matte. It's Adobe Matte.
Yeah, Adobe Matte.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Oh, it's that guy. From the posters.
It's that guy from the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh,
from
there's
the thumbnail.
Gore.
That guy on the wall's having a bad day.
Yeah, it was Gore. Like the comic book Gore.
Was it?
Yeah, not movie Gore, like comic book Gore with like the things.
Oh. Whoosh. I didn't get that right away. So I had this thing.
I only knew that because people complained that he didn't have the bunny ear things.
Okay, it's been so long. I kind of forgot about that since I read that stuff. I'll confess, I'm not always looking for the nuggets like a lot of people are with Marvel stuff and comic movies in general. Like, obviously, a lot of them will jump out at me because I know comic stuff, but I don't always see a thing in a shot and go, that must be something from you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's just because it was close up.
I'll see a
Some
thing
of
on a wall and I'll just go, oh, that's a monster guy, and you're like, you idiot, that's Gore the God Butcher.
You idiot! That's clearly Werewolf by Night.
It's the name of the special.
He's literally like the main character. Like you are like literally stupid.
So right away, I think the look of this is nailing the throwback just
Yeah,
fine.
no, this looks good so far. There's the Necronomicon.
They're doing what I was hoping they'd do, where there's flashes of color.
We always got to do red, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see if that's the only thing where it's like that's in color because it's the Bloodstone and it's a special MacGuffin. Ooh, we got accents, folks.
Yeah, it's Shrek.
Oh, it's really nice of Shrek to come back and do his decades later Marvel cameo.
I mean, he came back for Mike Myers' new show, so he came back for this. He's having a big year.
It's a good year for fake Scottish accents. Hey, how do you think you got those scars? I'm voting alien cat. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. We'll find out in the prequel. That'll be in Blade.
Remember that guy in the Man-Wolf movie that we just watched that wanted to put the Man-Wolf on the wall?
Yeah.
And then we just got a
There's gore
demon
again.
thing on a wall. Hey, that looks a lot like Gore the God Butcher.
Hey, it's Jessica Jones. Oh, but she's Irish.
It's Irish Jessica Jones.
Hi, I'm Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Ha,
Why is Jessica Jones after me, Lucky Charms? She's after me, Lucky Charms.
Well, that's what they're gonna add to Lucky Charms, right? Is the wolfsbane flower? That's one of the marshmallows.
If this creepy lady ends up being the main villain of this, she's very thinly veiled.
Mistress Palpatine here.
Yeah. No, she's sufficiently creepy. That's pretty good. My apologies if we don't look at the comments too much while we're looking at this. I'm feeling the need to pay more attention here. A lot of characters we're being introduced to.
Oh, it's David Bowie. No, and this looks
Good job, 57. Yeah. Sorry, what?
I was just gonna say this looks good for like not a experienced director.
Yeah. But smart for like glorified TV special, a first-time director doing what I'm assuming is kind of a one-room drama. Because I think most of this is supposed to take place in this one
house,
one room or house or whatever, right?
That's the sense that I got, was that it was all going to be in this house, or at least around the house, because there was like the hedge maze in the trailer where Man Thing was.
Robert Wilde says no one does a better Scottish accent than Mel Gibson. You always gotta have the ceremonial hunt. John Kelling, $2 super chat. Here's $2 for that thinly veiled joke. You don't want to do that. I'm gonna make more of these horrible puns if I get $2 every time.
Although he's not John Kelling, he's John Kelling by night.
By night.
By day, he's not John Kelling.
John Kelling by night's kind of redundant. Like, I knew that. You're John Kelling, but only at night.
That's like my name. I'm a ghost, but by day.
This is cool. Immediately, I'm thinking, none of this would look as convincing in color.
Yeah. But this is like very Haunted Mansion.
It really feels like right away they're just doing the genre and not really scared of anything, which is wonderful. And what do they have to lose? It's a silly little hour-long special.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Austin. What was that?
I said especially in Phase 4 when like everything's crap.
It's hit and miss in my mind, but yeah. Hey, we liked Eternals. We both did.
Yeah, I mean, I got issues with Eternals, but it's pretty good.
Oh, I've got lots of issues with this, but I'll watch it again. When I've got 3 hours.
It is the third best thing of Phase 4, though.
I love this guy with the crank.
That's your new favorite MCU character?
I like Crank Man. You got one job.
Crank Man sounds like a Mega Man villain.
I keep expecting this woman to take the black gloves off and we find out she's got like crab hands or something.
Like Thunder Force?
Like Thunder Force.
Oh no!
It's just the way she's holding them. Like, we haven't seen 5 fingers yet. It's weird.
What if
she's gonna have turtle hands?
Penguin. Gotta show her my French flipper trick.
Now, is it premature to complain that once again we have an MCU thing that right away is built all around a glowy prop?
I mean, probably, yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying we do that a lot. To be fair, comics also do that a lot, but
in general.
Whoa. David Bowie is creepy. You're right.
Yeah, it's David Bowie. He's an alligator.
He looks like an alien. He looks like he belongs in a Guardians movie.
Well, David Bowie was almost in Guardians too.
Was he really? Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, he died like a week before he was supposed to film his cameo.
I'm liking the strings here.
Yeah, sounds good. I think Giacchino did the score too.
Well, of course, right? Wouldn't it be really weird if he directed this and didn't score it?
And it would be really cool. But
you don't like Giacchino?
No, I just think that'd be funny.
Oh, I thought you were just making fun of him. Like, it'd be really cool if he didn't score it. Cause
oh no, I mean Giacchino's hit or miss, but like when he's good, he's like really good.
You can always tell when he cares and when he doesn't.
You can always tell when he cares, exactly.
The Batman score is brilliant. I think it's
his Batman score is awesome.
Far and away his best score. See that? Austin was so creeped out he sneezed.
Ugh.
Is her face?
He's playing a tuba on fire.
Oh my god, that's amazing! I was just about to say, if we're throwing back to like early Universal era monster movies, this score right now is too modern. We really need something actually playing this music. Oh, we do. Okay, never mind. This is great.
That's Giacchino's cameo. He's playing a flaming tuba.
He's blowing the fire tuba?
He's like, okay, everybody, make sure you get your parts right, because this is really hot, and I don't want to do it again.
Brian McCann, you guys just lost all credibility for liking Eternals. That's fair. I enjoyed it. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, we both said it's got issues.
Robert Wilde, the MacGuffin part of this is kind of lame. I guess we'll see if that's true, John Kelling fire tube is my favorite Marvel artifact. Yeah, the flaming tube was great. I guess it's not a one-room drama. Look, we're outside.
Yeah, they just went to a Planet of the Apes set. Is this the set they built for the fourth movie?
Tuba of the Planet of the Apes.
Flaming Tuba of the Planet of the Apes.
That's too long a title.
Those movies have incredibly long titles.
They do.
It's
but
what
it's usually
they're
like
going for.
War or Rise or
It's literally just one extra word.
not Flaming Tuba. Yep, we're arguing about this.
It's one extra word.
It's about syllable count.
Whatever. What even is the new one? I can't even remember.
It's is it Kingdom?
Oh, it might be Kingdom.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, that's like pretty close to Flaming Tuba, the Planet in syllable
It's
count.
double
getting
syllable
close.
count.
It's getting close.
I'm just giving you crap.
I don't care. I'm right in this
I don't
situation.
care.
I know it. Well, it was nice of somebody to
So-
set this up.
What time period are we in? I mean, I know we saw like a drawing of Avengers at the beginning, but like, is this present day?
I think it's present day.
And just shot to look like an old horror film?
I think so. 'Cause there's nothing really about it that suggests that it couldn't be modern day, right?
I hope so, because I like setting the precedent of we can be this stylized if we want to in any context. Did not need that.
No,
Pseudo
I was about
jump
to say that.
Nope.
Get out of here.
Nope.
That's like bad horror cliche.
Well, I thought you were going to say it was Goosebumps.
Well, that too.
Let's do a jump scare for a thing that's not... Okay, but at least the very next thing that happened was somebody trying to kill them. That's good.
Oh, he's smashing that one.
Oh!
Take that, Irish Jessica Jones.
Okay, so I still don't like the jump scare, but the point of it was not to scare us, but to throw us off so that we would think that nothing interesting was about to happen. They
And
knew
then-
it was lame. And then they went, violence! What's the matter? What's the matter? Is this going to be a man thing? Is that what man thing sounds like?
So this was spoiled for me that Man Thing has a voice and can roar.
Oh. Is that bad?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about Man Thing. Is he not supposed to have a voice?
Man Thing doesn't have a mouth.
Is he
Man Thing-
telepathic or something?
No, he's empathic.
Unlike you.
That is true. That is true.
I'm just throwing statements out. I'm just telling the truth.
No, so that's like a big something I've been fuming about all day. The second people told me that, I'm like,
I'm sorry, buddy.
it's
And I'm sorry you
okay.
had that spoiled for you. Although, at least you were able to get geared up for it so that you wouldn't, in the moment, go, oh.
It's like a double-edged sword, right? Because it probably would have been nice for people watching to have me like freak out on camera at seeing that, but also at the same time, like I've been able to process it throughout the day and be like, okay, breathe. But I'm still very, very annoyed about it.
I'm liking the lack of music here. This is good. Oh, God.
Oh, he's got like the Yu-Gi-Oh card thrower gauntlet. Whoa.
The only thing I heard about this is that there's a shocking amount of blood compared to what you would expect for MCU. And that's just the Psycho theme. All right.
I mean, how often do we just knock that off? Yeah.
They're nowhere near a shower. It's fine. What is weird about this in black and white is that we're seeing really standard Marvel weapon props in black and white. It's like, I'm expecting to go to Target and find the toys for these weapons right now.
That is true. That looks like a toy, that wrist gauntlet crossbow.
Well, so does the
with that axe.
The axe, yeah. Jar Jar Ed, $5 super chat. So
Like
it's
a
like the
Nerf
director's
axe?
version of the Mist, which was black and white. In what way? What do you mean?
I guess just because it's in black and white. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, this was made. I'm pretty sure from the beginning he was planning to make this black and white, and it wasn't just a post thing. I'm sure they shot it in color and did this.
That's what I was about to say. Is I'm sure it was probably done in post, but it was probably planned from the start.
But it does look planned. I just love that every
That's
time.
That's probably part of their pitch, right?
I love that every time he growls, you've got this grimace like somebody's doing nails on a chalkboard.
Because I know it's coming. Don't do my boy like this.
He looks like he's just standing in front of a projector screen. Did you see that?
No, I didn't notice.
Whoa!
Oh my god. He's here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he's friends with Man-Thing. He's like, wow, 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 wow. I'm all right. It's Muppet Man-Thing.
He talks like the lead character of Medieval, who walks around going. Oh.
I feel bad for Austin. I have no dog in this.
I know no one else cares, but
like,
I care.
I've heard of Man-Thing. I've seen Man-Thing. I don't.
They also messed up his eyes, but nobody thinks about Man-Thing's eyes as much as I do.
Can we put that on a t-shirt? No
Yeah.
one thinks about Man-Thing's eyes as much as Austin does.
No, like, legitimately, I could talk about just Man-Thing's eyes for like an hour and how much I like the way they're drawn.
Oh, okay, I see. I can talk about what they mean.
Yeah. No, like how expressive they are and how big and like.
You know what I like about Man-Thing over Swamp Thing?
Everything.
I don't have to listen to anybody ramble on about the green.
That's true. Man-Thing can't talk, so.
But also, nobody's gonna see Man-Thing and be like, "Oh yeah, he's protecting the green." Tyler Thompson, $2 super chat. Eternals rocks. Oh no, we've started a feud.
Let them fight. That's what I say.
Let them eat cake. My dad.
My my dad.
Man, Irish Jessica Jones. She's just pissed.
Yeah. She's got like a dad and stuff. Like this character is nuts.
I really think so. You're gonna show an image of Avengers at the beginning. You're gonna make everybody think about that again, and then immediately your MacGuffin is also called a stone. Like, I would have gone a different way with that. Call it anything else.
Well, because I think the Bloodstone is a comic book thing, but like, is that what we had to go for? Because Elsa Bloodstone's her own character. Like, we didn't need Werewolf by Night special to include her or Man-Thing.
But also, she could have been there without a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But even if not, like, the Infinity Stones were gems in the first place. Like,
but like, that is a thing, right? Is even in this hour-long special, we can't get away from like solo characters just being solo characters. It still has to be like throw in other characters, right?
Yep.
And it's like I get it. We're doing Blades, so we're probably gonna do Midnight Suns. But like, do we need to set up half a team? I don't know.
Robert, while the Avengers mural at the start is so unnecessary, I don't even understand what the context of it was with the rest of this.
I think it's literally just to go like, it's connected to that, people. Like, remember that this is connected.
Don't be confused, even though we showed a Marvel logo at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
That was probably the one mandate to Giacchino, right?
Oh, probably. I mean, these two leads aren't bad. Um, I know we're talking over it, but like,
Yeah.
they seem fine. Stop.
We'll actually watch this and pay more attention to it later, of course. Robert, while this special feels mistitled, so far I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
we're already 24 minutes in, and once again, like Austin said, it feels like an ensemble cast thing. Now, it was also advertised that way, but
Well, we've been more with Elsa Bloodstone. Like, it seems more like her story, right? Because it's her family and they have the stone and she wants it and she's in this thing and he's just kind of here.
Brisbane actually rings a bell. I feel like I have read that in comics.
For what, sorry?
I was looking at names, and one said
Oh.
Brisbane, and that I feel like I've heard that.
Oh, look, it's the Crypt Keeper cameo.
It's pretty crazy if if you knew that. Like, okay, so I'm gonna die. Someday I'll come back from the dead.
I mean, I say that all the time.
So you're gonna put some keys where somebody in your family can find them.
No, I'm gonna put a bunch of guns like Sarah Connor.
You see where she knocked out the letterboards, so nobody's gonna be able to look up the hymnals in church, the hymn numbers in their hymnals in church. Roboto's 100 Cap and Austin, would you prefer more connectivity or projects just set in Marvel? I just want a healthy variety, is all.
Yeah, I mean,
For me, it's just a matter of serving the story. Like,
yeah, just make things. I'm also at a point where I don't need everything to just be this continuity. Like I'm ready to have stuff outside of this now.
well, I'm not invested in it like I once was.
Well, and that's part of it too.
And they have such an easy out with multiverse to do a bunch of stuff that's not connected that they still can say is connected if they want to. Like, you can have your cake and eat it too all day long now.
Well, and like,
I
okay,
like the shot.
yeah, I finally get my favorite Marvel character, but now I have to suffer through him going every time he's on screen.
Yeah, and it
Like,
can't just be a man thing thing.
can I just have a Man Thing movie like where he's actually Man Thing and like you actually have read Man Thing comics and you adapt them, please? Yay!
He just crushed someone's head.
Oh, you burned them. Stop. Wait. She just called Ted.
Why is his name Ted? Why is Man Thing named Ted?
Oh, okay.
Austin sounds like this Man Thing.
Okay.
This might be Austin's last video. We're gonna watch him just walk off.
Why do they know
Okay,
his
so
name is Ted?
can I say something real quick though? In their defense for a second, not with the Ted thing. I don't know what that's about yet. In their defense, if you're here he comes, he's lumbering. Um, if you're trying to adapt this to screen, wouldn't it be a little weird if you had a monster that was there and made no noise at all? Like,
I mean, I don't think so. He doesn't. He like clearly doesn't have a like. What's making that noise?
okay, but you know that because you've read comics. I
But
didn't know
even
Man-Thing didn't have a mouth. I knew he had these big tentacle things in front of his face. I assumed he had a mouth behind them. Like, I don't know Man-Thing has no mouth.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just inherent to the design. Like there's nothing under it.
You can't tell if there's anything under it or not. If you moved them, there could be a mouth there.
I mean, maybe, but like I don't
I'm just
know.
saying I haven't read Man-Thing stuff. I don't know this.
Yeah, no, and that's. I mean, nobody cares what man thinks. So it's like I just have to live with it.
So we really are just doing the one splash of red color. I'm not giving you crap for liking a thing that a lot of other people don't care about. I'm just saying that like
No, I understand what you're saying. It's
I
just
can see from their perspective why they might think it's awkward to try to adapt this character without any sound. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, and I mean, like I don't know, like it's because I know the material. It's like, but I in my head I can picture how you do it on film, so I'm like, but why aren't you doing this? Like it would be very simple. I don't know. Like that feels more like a Disneyified thing, I guess, to me. That he has to walk around going like when he's not sentient either. That's the other thing. But like he and Werewolf by Night are friends, I guess.
He's not sentient?
Like not really. He's literally just an empath. Like he reacts to how you feel. Like if you come at him with a more aggressive emotion, he will react
Oh,
in response.
I didn't know that.
So it's like just inherently like we're not understanding this character from the get-go.
I mean, I've read the R.L. Stein Man-Thing, but that was incomprehensible. So, like, I didn't learn things about Man-Thing that stuck with me.
No, for sure.
So you're saying he's an instinctual animal that
Exactly.
responds to emotion but doesn't have his own.
Yeah, like he doesn't have thoughts or anything. Like that's a big thing because it's a lot of it's narration, and it's like, Man Thing doesn't have thoughts of any kind, and he'll like forget people the second that they're like gone from him.
Well, based on that, it sounds like they reinvented it and made it less interesting. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
can't help
what
but
I
think
mean.
that based on just your 3 sentence definition of the point of that character.
Yeah, the way I would describe Man Thing is that he's in a way Marvel's King Kong, in that he's kind of not a thoughtful like person. He's just like an animal, and
But we have to humanize everything.
yeah, and like he doesn't need to be Groot. Like we have that character.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just never gonna
that's
get the
real
Man Thing movie out of my-
MCU-ified, real Hollywooded. Yeah.
And then, because we kind of talked over it, but they call him Ted. Why do they know he's Ted? Like, why do they know his origin? Like, I don't know.
Well, I'm assuming some sort of revelation happens with that, but
Maybe. I mean, he just left. I mean, he'll probably come back, I guess, but
Tyler Thompson now blaming Disney for the monster making noise. Yeah, but like taking
no, I said that in terms of it feels Disneyfied in that it's like, oh look, he's like I don't know, like a cutesier like character, I guess. Like it doesn't have the same pathos. We've completely ripped that out.
again,
I think
I don't have a dog in this, but just based on what you said, and obviously you know your stuff with that character, it sounds like they fundamentally changed what it was
exactly.
in
No, we've like
in order
completely
to
removed
make
who
it
this
more
character is.
um palatable for a general audience, even though this thing on the whole seems like it's not as concerned with that as some other MCU things are, right? Like
Mhm.
it's pretty authentic to its classic horror roots so far, it seems like, but that
Mhm.
seems like an accessible thing where wow, there's no way to translate that.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like saying there's no way to translate that is how we get Galactus and Silver Surfer. You can make a Man Thing movie. That's what I want. Like, you
But
can
even if
make
he
that really
had to
cool.
growl like that, why does he have to be humanized?
Yeah. No,
Like
exactly.
just based on what you're talking about, I'm much less concerned about the fact that he makes monster noises and
I mean,
less
that just
concerned about
annoys
that
me. It's
and
like
more
they
concerned
can't.
about the fact that it seems like they keep calling him a monster, but he's not exactly a monster.
No, he's much more humanized than he typically is. No, because that's what I love about Man Thing's eyes is that so much of his emotion comes out of that, with how big they
Brandon
are.
Wilson says Jack told her his name.
But why does he know his name?
Well, they're
Like,
friends.
but like,
Goofster, he was a person at one point, though. See, you know the origin, and I don't.
yeah, like he was a person at one point, but like that's completely gone. Like that's part of the tragedy of that character.
Brian McCone says Man Thing in comics has amnesia. He can remember things for a few seconds, then forgets things. He reacts to emotions. He hates fear. Fear causes him to burn you if he touches you.
Yeah, fear gives him like a primal rage where like if he senses fear, it like hurts him, so he has to like go out of his way to kill you. And if you have fear, his touch lights you on fire, which is what we saw when he crushed that guy's head, was that he burned.
That makes me want to put him and Ghost Rider together. I wonder if that's ever happened.
Um, Not in his solo series, but like I wouldn't be surprised if we've done it in some sort of crossover.
I mean, you put him and Penance Stare together. That sounds kind of neat.
Mhm. There's a really good Doctor Strange crossover. Man Thing doesn't really cross over a lot though. He's very just kind of off on his own.
He seems like the sort of character you'd put in a lot of other things, but
Well, and part of it too with the comics is that he's like the only character in Florida, so it's not like he can actively meet a lot of people.
so Brian disagrees with you and says Ted is still in there.
But like not really. There's been two stories where they bring his personality out through some sort of machination. He's not like a conscious personality in Man Thing.
Hey, I'm just glad Agatha's not in this. That's
Oh my God. I mean, what if it was Agatha all along?
I was thinking about doing that. You beat me by 5 seconds. That mask is pretty cool looking. Is he about to be a werewolf finally?
Yeah, this almost is like a reverse Wolfman thing, right? Where it's like he's barely he's like she's more the main character, so it's weird that we're just getting to him now. I don't know.
There's only 17 minutes left in this.
Yeah, I guess he's just gonna be a werewolf for the climax, right?
Yeah, maybe so. This has been moving a bit slow. Of course, again, we've been talking over dialogue and stuff. I'm gonna have to watch this on my own and like.
I mean, this is an hour long, but we're not really getting a lot done.
That's what it feels like. It's just I always want to take a step back and say I do know I'm talking over some dialogue, so certainly could be missing stuff. And you were there. And you were there.
And I miss you most of all, Scarecrow. Oh my god.
This was the stuff that they really played up for Grindhouse. See, this in the trailer, this is the tone that I was kind of more expecting the movie would have, and the trailer was more like, here's how we sell the thing.
Yeah.
Robert, finally some werewolf stuff.
Yeah, like I feel like I was with it a lot more earlier on, and then it just kind of got bland. Like I don't know.
You're just mad because they ruined Man.
And I'm mad because they ruined Man Thing. Like, but like I don't know it. I don't know. I feel like that way. I don't know about you.
From now on, every time we get on a call together, I'm gonna open up just going.
And then I'm gonna hang up, and I'll never be on the show again.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you.
No, every single time we
Often.
get on a call, I'm gonna bring it up now.
You're gonna come on. And go,
No, I'm gonna be like, "Can you believe that?" Oh, there he is.
What do you
It's
think of
nice
that?
He's actually practical.
Yeah.
He reminds me of the Tim Burton apes.
Yay for there not being any uncanny valley with this. I've been longing for that a lot lately too. I love the score right here. This is wonderful.
No, it's a pretty good Giacchino score. So here's the real question, though: is he practical because they wanted to do practical, or is he practical because all the CGI money went to Man Thing?
I mean, probably both. No, I bet Giacchino was trying to shoot as much of this practical as he could because he's
No,
wanting to
I'm
throw back to
sure.
those
Yeah,
movies.
I'm just joking. But
What are you
yeah.
gonna do? That's gonna have to be in a computer.
Yeah.
Well, you could build that and make it like Muppety, but that's probably going too far for MCU.
Well, and the issue with that is that there's like a common misconception that Man Thing is like Swamp Thing, where he's vegetation, but he's more like slime.
Sure, but you could still build a suit.
No, I know, but I just mean like either way, it would have to be touched up because it wouldn't have that look.
But
Granted-
especially in black and white, I think it would be easier in the dark. Oh man, it's coming down. We gotta cool it, Lee.
Cool it, Lake. Is he gonna reach
Who's
back?
gonna roll under the door?
Well, the werewolf's gonna.
Are we
roll
all
under the
waiting for
door,
rolling under the door?
And then
roll
he's
under
gonna
the door.
reach back and rip the guy's head off.
Oh my god, nobody rolled under the door. I can't believe it.
Okay, this movie gets an F. Nobody rolled.
Nobody
under
rolled under the door.
This movie sucks now.
Now, I'm sure the only reason they're allowing for all this blood is black and white, but
It's
I
'cause
respect
black
it.
and white. Yeah, I mean, it's farther than they've gone before, so that's nice.
Like, it's actually in the genre it's purporting to be in. It's not I'm not watering it down, making it halfway in the ballpark. I mean, I'll give them that.
It seems like horror is the genre they're more willing to get into with this and Doctor Strange.
That's a good point, yeah. Because that did it more authentically than I would have expected as well. I like the knife in the head. That was fun. Or the sword in the head, pardon
Yeah.
me. That was much larger than a knife.
Brian McCann, 2004, Man Thing ruined him first. Yeah, but that's like objectively the worst comic book adaptation of all time.
Sure.
No matter what, it was going to be better than that.
I can't
And he
remember,
also
though.
roars in that movie.
Say again?
Said, and he also roars in that movie.
I was going to ask you. I couldn't remember if he was all...
But he doesn't do that until the end. It's like when he's dying, he looks up into the sky and roars. But everything about him in that... He doesn't even have the burning power in that movie. And they made him a native for some reason. He's a Native American named Ted.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize his name was still Ted in that.
Yeah, because they're like, there's this native witch doctor named Ted Salas, and it's like,
What?
come on, guys.
I've only seen that talking over it.
Yeah, that is, like, I think objectively the worst comic book movie ever made. It's really bad.
And it was hard not to fall asleep even while talking over it.
Yeah. Well, and that was the movie that made Avi Arad go, like, we can't release this theatrically. Avi Arad said that.
Yeah, it's Avi Arad. That guy's proud of the Venom movies. Oh, I like that he's still got his war paint.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. You can't kill Irish Jessica Jones. She has to be in the Midnight Suns movie. You're not thinking franchise-ally.
She needs her own Disney Plus show
She
called
needs her own Disney
Irish
Plus show,
Jessica Jones.
where she has sex with Irish Luke Cage. And then he spins off.
Look, we're done with former Power Rangers. It's this lady's turn now. Oh, I'm sorry. She wasn't a Power Ranger. It was that other guy in that show.
The other guy in that show.
Yeah. Robert Wild, I'm torn because I really think you guys should have watched this before doing the commentary, but seeing Austin's reaction to Man-Thing was worth it. Like I said, we Austin really wanted to watch this and just, get our reactions, and we will watch it later, of course. You let him go! Like Robert Wild, we don't do that with brand new stuff. We wouldn't have watched this and then done a commentary a week later. We would have reviewed it.
Well, I probably I don't know. I was on the fence of watching this anyways, so it was like, oh, why don't we just watch it? It's only there's Man-Thing again. Yeah, kill that old woman.
Bam! Oh.
Whoa.
Her head came off. How does that happen?
Why does he makes like elephant noises?
He does sound like an elephant. Huh? Thank you.
He just straight up said okay.
Yeah, he basically just growled a thank you.
He just went God damn it.
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. I just can't have nice things.
We just can't have nice things. I want to think the only color these people have ever seen is red.
Whoa.
Oh. Why did I say that? Oh, of course. That's too obvious of a cue. Come on now. You get over the rainbow and then everything's in color. Really? Come on. Boo.
No, that sucks.
No. On the nose much?
Next Man-Thing's gonna go, it's not Kansas anymore.
And you were there. Can you believe I said it? You were there and you were there and then we got freaking over the rainbow?
Yeah, what the hell?
Did we do that just so we could see him in color?
Coffee?
What'd it say?
Man-Thing made him coffee?
Thanks, Ted. Ted's making coffee.
Yeah, you can see there, he's got nothing under here. So are they gonna be the horror sides, Rocket and Groot?
Maybe so. So why was all that in black and white? Was the color just for our benefit, or?
Yeah, it's awkward if you switch, right? Why?
Well, I'm just saying, was there a plot reason, or was it just aesthetic? I'm lost on this. Oh, he is Groot. You can understand what he's saying.
Yeah. Screw you, Marvel. I don't know, I also don't really like...
Man-Thing likes sushi. You heard it here first, folks.
Let's go get shawarma, Man-Thing.
There you go, Austin. You got your Man-Thing there. And then they did the, This wasn't a Wizard of Oz throwback. Really? I don't know. I'm reserving some judgment until I actually pay more attention to that, but I enjoyed the atmosphere of it.
I liked part of
The
that.
performances were fine.
The performances were fine. The two leads seemed
The
okay.
fights were kind of too standard Marvel stuff for this kind of fare. Like, it really didn't need to degenerate into, like, choreographed fight scene at the end.
Yeah, and then it just kind of stopped, and then it was like, okay, this isn't a full movie. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And like, I still feel like it was more her story, anyways. What did he get out of any of that?
Yeah. He seemed like a plot device. Like, it's called Werewolf by Night, so he's there so he can turn into a werewolf. Like, he was a sidekick, but his name's in the title.
Which you can do with Man-Thing, because that's how Man-Thing stories typically go, because you have, like, stories about people.
Well, if he's not even a character.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have stories about people, and then he's like a creature that comes in and stuff. But like,
Robert Wall says this was barely horror. Do you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, like it's got that aesthetic.
Yeah, maybe I was being too.
But like once we get into
nice
the
to it, I
action
don't know.
stuff, it's just action with more blood. Like I don't know. Like that's also not what Universal monster movies look like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just mad they ruined my favorite character. It's okay, buddy.
Well, the Disney Plus continues its track record of okay.
Yeah, you know what, Robert Wilde? Why couldn't the credits be up front? Why couldn't we have done what we did with the Wolfman, where you see all the characters and who plays them?
Oh, you know what? I went ahead and dropped that off already, but is there going to be some sort of after credits or something? I didn't even bother.
Disney Plus is already trying to make me watch Moon Knight. I'm not gonna watch your trash. Get out of here.
Robert, this looked pretty good, but it should have been in 4x3 instead of anamorphic. I don't know about that. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess you take the.
You want to go that far?
Yeah, I mean we played with aspect ratio in WandaVision.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, no after credits. Says Robert. Well,
Yeah.
I'm bummed for you.
Oh, thank you. I am bummed. I
mean,
mean,
I will at some point watch that back through just so that I know more about what's happening in it. But I'm not like super compelled to rush off and look at it. But I enjoyed like I said, the look of it more than anything. I think.
I mean, we would like talk over like specific dialogue, obviously, but like I feel like I got like everything that was happening. Like you have a bunch of people show up to a house, they're gonna hunt a monster, and whoever manages to get it gets the bloodstone.
Yeah.
And you think it's supposed to be Man-Thing, but it's not. It's Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
And then he breaks out and he kills them, and then Elsa Bloodstone gets the stone and he leaves, and then he and Man-Thing are gonna go get sushi.
Thanks for that synopsis. And nobody can make fun of us for doing the synopsis too late this time because we had to watch the thing before we knew what happens in it.
Sorry, here, I'll give you my proper one.
Don't worry, Man-Thing. I'll send you some sushi.
Oh, he doesn't eat.
How would he eat it?
I don't know.
Are the tentacle things supposed to like suck in nutrients or something?
He doesn't eat. He's kept alive by his swamp. Also, this is just a thing I had when we knew that he was going to be in this. It's our first introduction of Man-Thing, and he's not in a swamp. Like that's kind of weird. Like it's not like the end of the world, but like
it kind of plays like it really wanted something that at least some folks would recognize in it. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh man, the monster is gonna be this thing you've heard of, and so like, go to something that the big screen and other Disney Plus projects aren't planning on using, so you can get away with that, because nothing else in that is anything that the majority of people are familiar with. Like, Man-Thing is even probably 3 times more recognizable than Werewolf by Night just as a property.
Well, and he's had a movie before, and like he showed up in like a Hulk Agents of Smash special, and like in the Ultimate Spider-Man. Like,
oh, even more than that, I'm pretty sure he had. I don't know if he got a whole episode, but I'm pretty sure he was in Superhero Squad and like.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, like he's a big boss in Lego Marvel 2.
Does he growl in that?
I don't remember. I just remember he's.
I never finished that game, so I didn't get that far.
I feel like that's one of the last things I played. I had to kill Man-Thing, and I was like, okay, I'm done. No, I don't remember offhand.
Well, Austin, thanks for suggesting this as a double feature. I think it was especially good that we watched Wolfman before that, just because you had such a letdown. At least you got to watch something that was pretty great before that.
Wolfman's a great movie, and it still is.
And obviously they went together really well as a twofer.
Yeah, well, it's funny too, because when I thought of it, I was like, "There's no way Cap says yes to this," but I'll just see. I'll test the waters.
Nah, I'm pretty open to stuff. Well, folks, thanks a bunch for watching these with us. I hope you had a good time, and I will be back on Monday night with a new Superhero Rewind Unscripted. I'm going to be talking about my collection. I'm going to be going through as much of this as I can get away with in a couple of hours, and we may have to do it in 2 weeks. I'm not sure yet, but I haven't done a collection video in a long time. I've gotten quite a bit since the last time I talked about it really at all, so folks have been asking for that, so that's what I'm going to do this week, and then we'll be back with you again. I was going to say Tuesday for the Captain Logan show, but DJ, I'll go ahead and announce this now, DJ wants to do a commentary on a movie that he and I both watched half of and stopped, and we're finally going to finish it, but we're not going to do this one blind. We are going to watch it and then come into the commentary.
You guys are going to do blind.
Zodiac!
Oh, okay.
We're finally going to finish Zodiac and then watch it with you guys and talk about it. I don't know how great that will be as commentary material, but we're gonna watch it with you guys, having seen it, and chat about it, and chat with you guys. So anyway, that's the plan at the moment anyway, and then Captain Logan show Thursday. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and we will see you again very shortly. I was Captain Logan, and Austin, once again, I'm sorry about your Man-Thing.
He's just the Peanuts adults now. Here's your coffee.
Dude, before you started using actual words, he just sounded like a vacuum cleaner. All right, we'll see you later, folks. Bye, everybody.